Log date 7158. Though I will openly admit that I should be doing something more productive than make a log date. A few bold accounts on my social media thread asked me a few questions I promised I'd answer. Since I have nothing else to do, even though I said that in the last log date, I'll just go on and make this happen. Though it would make sense also if I were to be doing something right now, but I don't, even if I am a crystal gem. So I'm just gonna go on and do this. With the rather concerning tag, the Grumpy Lapis, she asked me, "What did you think of the Little Butler Campaigning Hearts crossover?" Well, for your very fine information, Lazuli, I didn't particularly care about this crossover. Of course, it was alright, but it's not like I paid much attention to it. But exactly who would need to? It was absolutely indulgent, and of course I'm not going to go back and watch it when it was just the most boring thing I've ever watched in my entire life. Sometimes generosity can be a bit, well, sickening, for it's just a bit too much. Hopefully you get the gist of what I'm saying, but I'm just going to go on to the next question. A relatively close partner on this internet thing asked me, "Do you think of inanimate/non-living gemstones as your kind?" Well, Jessie, I believe inanimate gems could possibly be one of our kind, but they were not exactly meant to be like one of us. In fact, they are missing some key components to grow into a complete gem. We can just call them crystals for now. Another fellow follower asked me, "Have you ever heard of Homestuck?" Well, Mint, I have never heard of Homestruck, or I mean Homestuck. It sounds quite boring, honestly, for a planet. That is, if it is a planet. I'm not exactly sure what it is that you're referring to. But I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that it is one. A human named Lars asked me, "What's the most terrifying experience you've had with life on Earth so far?" Well, I wouldn't say it wasn't with life on Earth. It was just the fact of getting on this planet that terrified me the most. If you were to ask me, crashing here on this gem-forsaken planet was the most horrifying thing I've ever experienced. I had no idea what to expect with the cluster growing beneath my feet. I dwelled in fear. There's nothing more terrifying than being stuck on a doomed planet with no help or rescue and the thoughts of your own death screaming at you. That's honestly the worst thing you can ever endure. Another question Lars had to ask was, "Are you 12? I'm not 12. Where and how on earth did you ever assume that I was 12 years old? That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'm not 12, and I'm not ever going to be 12. My age is of no concern of you." He also asks, "Why do you act like you're 12? I do not act like I am 12. Stop asking such annoying questions. I don't understand. What makes you think or believe that I'm 12 years old? I'm clearly not 12 years old. Just because I'm tiny does not mean I'm 12 years old." I guess this concludes this log date, or, well, whatever this is. A question and answer log date? Oh well. Peridot, Facet 5, and log.